Morning. Just finished my group coaching call with my clients and ended a bit early, so I thought I'd record you a podcast episode. It's going to be super valuable in helping you stand out in the marketplace. So just for some context, when a new client comes into our agency, one of the things that we do, as I mentioned in past episodes, is the creative brief process, right? So that's where we will research our client, like their positioning, their message, what's worked in the past, what hasn't worked in the past, their funnel if they've got one. Then we look at all their top competitors, look at all their funnels. We take screenshots of their ads, their funnels, their messaging, their positioning. We do this full research thing. It's quite extensive, and that gives us like this outlay of the market. And the copywriter who heads up this task, and then she sends it through to me for review. She just sent me a client this morning that she finished, right? And one of the things that she did when she was when she came up with the top 3 competitors, one of the questions, like we do like a kind of like after we do the competitors, do all the research, screenshots and everything, there's a review section. And one of the things, questions we ask, like, how are the other competitors like positioning themselves? Like, what are they doing really well with their message? Where do you think their message could be improved? And what she's written here, it's funny, when I read it, I'm like, this is actually a lot of coaches. Okay, so I'll read her answer. So the question is, where do you think the top competitors could improve with their message? And she's written, they're extremely vague. It's difficult to tell all 3 apart from each other. One of them did have a more specific, quote unquote, authority approach, but no transparency or clarity on how that works. So that's the reason why I'm recording this episode, because again, this is so common with the coaches that I speak to. Actually, I had a conversation yesterday with a coach who, no joke, so one of the questions I always ask, when a coach is possibly, looking to sign up to my program, when we're on the, the discovery call together, I ask, okay, are you talking to any other people at the moment about getting, help growing your business? Sometimes they say no. A lot of times they say yes. I say, okay, well, what are you looking at? Oh, I looked at this program. And I will say, okay, what specific, like how are they actually going to be helping you get clients? Like specifically, what's the strategy? Is it a webinar? Is it a Facebook group? And I kid you not, I would say about 50% of the time, the coach says, I'm not sure how they're going to do it. Like they weren't clear on the actual strategy. And I would say, like, they didn't tell you like specifically, like, oh, it's going to be like a webinar or a Facebook group, whatever. They're like, no, they weren't clear on that. And that's usually a lot of the time why people don't invest, because they're like, what am I actually buying, right? But the point is, this is really key for coaches, especially if you're in a crowded marketplace, that clients need to know what it is that makes you unique and different, because that gives them clarity on what they're actually buying. And number 2, it makes them go, oh, this is why I'd want to work with this particular coach versus all the others, right? Because they've got this Facebook group strategy. I love Facebook groups because I can get free clients or whatever the main benefit is, right? Anyway, so the point is with this, so these competitors are extremely vague on their actual strategy to help. By the way, this particular this particular client that the creative brief is for, she also helps other coaches get clients. Okay, so this is the market. So the top 3 competitors are helping coaches get clients in a more organic way. Okay. So anyway, these competitors are not clear on their strategy on how they're going to get clients. It's very vague, which is not great if you want to stand out in the marketplace. So that's the first lesson. Second lesson is, how do you actually do that? Well, one of the things that we do with the creative brief is we actually get on the phone with our client, right? For our private agency clients, the copywriter, Charlene, she gets on the phone with them and she interviews them about their whole system, like their whole offer, like jumps on the phone. And actually I've got the questions here. Let me just go up to it here. So here are some of the questions, like, tell me about how your system works in detail. Like, let's go through all the steps. Step 1, here's this step. Okay, why do you do it this way? Why do it this way? And how do your competitors do it? Why is it important to do it this way versus your competitors? So you do that for every step. Step 2, here's the next step of your system on how you get clients. Okay, you're doing it this way. Why do we address this on the second step? Why is that important? So we're going through all of this, and then we're identifying, obviously, like what makes this process unique versus everyone else. And that, I believe, is one of the questions here, what are you doing? What are you doing that your competitors aren't? Why is that important? What do you believe is unique or different about your process? What is that important? What else, right? Continuing to dig down. Anyway, the point is, we get very clear on like their whole system, what makes them unique and different versus their competitors. That's why we research the competitors. And then we communicate that framework, that methodology, that system in a way that's clear to the market on how this coach, our client, gets results. So for example, in the context of this client, she helps coaches get clients. Okay, well, how does she do that? She does it with Instagram polls. Okay, so her unique methodology, she uses Instagram polls. It's pretty cool, actually. She uses Instagram polls to, like, basically she would say, okay, what's your number one challenge growing your coaching business? I'm just throwing out a random poll, right? And I didn't even know there was such thing. I knew there was polls in Facebook groups. I didn't know you could do them on Instagram. So this was kind of new to me. So anyway, she'll ask a question like, hey, what's your biggest challenge growing your coaching business? And some people might say, and she might have 4 different options, right? So number 1 might be like discovery calls. Number 1, 2 might be like booking more appointments. Number 3 might be like crafting my offer, whatever it is, right? So people will kind of vote like, okay, what their preference is, like what are they struggling with most. And the cool thing with Instagram polls is that like it'll show you who's actually voted, and then you can DM those people. And so what she does is she DMs them and just introduces herself and then gives them a like a free guide, like a lead magnet. She gets people onto the list from there, and then she will follow up with them in the DM again, and then get them. So she'll make sure that they read the free guide to build a relationship, and then she'll also DM them from there to get on a discovery call. So that's her system. She uses Instagram polls and that's what makes her unique and different in the marketplace. And so I think the program promise we're going to go with is how to, or the main kind of headline hook is how to get 10 clients in 10 days with Instagram polls. Anyway, the point is not so much the headline. It's more of the lesson of, now it's very clear, as you can see, like if you have this client that I'm talking about versus those 3 competitors, it's obvious what makes her unique and different, because it's very clear like what her methodology is. Oh, that's the girl that gets you clients with Instagram polls, doing it, getting clients for free with Instagram polls, 10 clients in 10 days, whatever that main hook is that we come with. So the lesson here is, if you want to stand out in the marketplace, first of all, like just be clear on like what it is that you do in the first instance. Like even if it's not unique, at least be clear on like what is that system. But ideally, you want it to be unique and different, because most of the coaches that I'm speaking to right now, probably you as well, are in very competitive marketplaces. Rarely do I meet a coach anymore that's in like a true niche where they're just one of a few that solve a very specific, unique problem. That's the definition of a niche, is a unique problem. Like if I say I help dentists get more patients, the problem is still getting more patients or getting more clients. That's still the same problem. Like I could take that system and go helping accountants get more clients, right? It's not a unique problem. So people think a niche is like choosing a demographic like dentists. No, it's still the same problem. A niche is a unique problem. Anyway, so you want to kind of niche down. That's like the easiest way to, if you can solve a unique problem, to stand out. But other than that, you need to know how to communicate what makes you unique and different, so that your people know what it is, what are you actually doing for them, and then why and that'll give them a reason to choose you over other people. Okay, so with that being said, that's today's lesson. If you need help with this, that's obviously what we help you with in either our agency, like the done for you side, or also the done with you side is what we do. We do it with you. We take our agency clients and our done with you consulting clients, like we do one-on-one consulting, or we do done for you agency. We take our clients through the exact same process. Okay. So if you want, that's obviously the first step. We do that to ensure we know what makes you unique and different before we craft your offer and then help you book appointments. If you need help with this, if you want, at the end of the day, it's getting more appointments, right? So if you want help getting more appointments with people that want to work with you, all you have to do is go to apply.lukecharlton.com, apply.lukecharlton.com. That'll take you to a short video. We'll be able to book a 15-minute chat with us just to see if we can help in the first instance, okay? If we can help, then we'll book you on a second call where we'll map out a complete strategy on how we're going to help get you consistent appointments every single month with advertising, a system that you can literally just press on a button and income the appointments every month. Okay, so that being said, go to apply.lukecharlton.com